Another beautiful day in Death Valley, and we're making our last big run of the trip. It's the long, really, really long road to a place called Mengel Pass and beyond to the Goler Wash.
Actually, this is a very long road. It goes maybe like 20 something miles
Easily.
up to. So at this point, we have already gone past the Warm Springs cabins. They're not really cabins, but that's what they call them. Warm Springs Camp.
Yes.
And so this is kind of like part two. We've continued on past that, going towards Goler Wash and Mengel Pass.
Does this road look easy to you? Well, that'll change. When you get to Mengel Pass, it's considered one of the tougher, more rock-strewn, difficult runs in Death Valley. It's named after a prospector, Carl Mengel, who was a prospector and a miner. He died in 1944, and at the top of Mengel Pass is his gravesite. They buried his ashes as well as his prosthetic leg. He lost a leg in a mining accident.
They say that this pass is at 4,300 feet above sea level. Below sea level just an hour or so ago, and now you're so much higher.
That's right. Badwater Basin, where you pass near, you're actually at over 200 feet below sea level. And now you're at a much higher elevation.
So as you can see, we're obviously driving a Jeep Wrangler up here. And, sometimes you see one of those trail guides and it says, don't drive up here without a four-wheel drive.
This is definitely don't drive up here without a four-wheel drive.
Yeah. You may get somewhere. It's just that the washboard roads will eventually just really vibrate a car really bad. And you don't want to get stuck out here because it would be a long, long, long way out. So I have 33-inch tires, 2.5-inch lift kit. Gives us some clearance. At some point, you'll see a little farther up that I did put on the lockers because I didn't want to get out of the car and look for the rocks. I just let it pull me over.
That kind of reminds me, there is a story, something they call the Death Valley Germans who disappeared here way back in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of did what you were talking about. Not only did they go in July in the very heat of summer, but they attempted to cross this whole thing, including Mengel Pass, in a rented Plymouth Voyager minivan, which was a really bad idea. Well, their disappearance was actually a mystery for a long time.
For years.
For years.
For like, was it 13 years or something like that?
They found the van, and I believe either it was three of the tires had punctured, and they eventually abandoned the van. They were able, because they did a huge investigation on this, to retrace some of their steps. They had headed off intending to
go to Yosemite, I think.
Exactly.
Came out of Las Vegas, going to go to Yosemite, and they had some beer in their car, and it was like a minivan. They had two children. Decided that they were going to get to their destination faster by taking this exact road.
Of course, no one would ever tell you to take this road in a rented minivan. So that proved to be a very bad idea. Apparently, though, they made it as far as a place ahead of us called the Geologist Cabin, just an abandoned cabin that people can stay in. They had actually signed the guest book back at Warm Springs Cabin saying they intended to go to Mengel, which I guess there used to be a guest book there. And when they reached the Geologist Cabin, of all things, they apparently stole the flag off the flagpole because it was found in their minivan folded up.
Yeah, I think they wanted it for like a memento. So they came from Furnace Creek and decided to go over this mountain range through this valley. And it's just going over the washboard roads right there, you shouldn't have gone on. It's bad.
What people believe is about the time they started to get to Mengel Pass, they saw they could go no further. The road was just too rough, so they tried to alternate route south, but it was just as bad. I looked up what in the world the temperature would have been on that day, and down at Furnace Creek where they started, it would have been in the low 120s. But up at the higher elevations where they were, you mentioned it was higher, it still would have been 107 degrees.
Yeah, that's still really hot. And no shade, no trees. We're getting over some rough spot here.
Oh, this is nothing compared to what's ahead, believe me.
Yeah, well, I want to say it wasn't that bad. Of course, my Jeep is in the shop right now. So, if you're stuck out here, it's bad. If you get stuck out here, it's really bad. And we're not, there's some big rocks, and we're not mechanically really, we can do some basic fixes, but if something serious broke out here. So we're trying to be careful. And it is in this video, it is in January 2021. And I would say the road was pretty good. Even Mengel Pass was pretty good.
No road is the same way twice. We've seen that in other places in Death Valley. It depends on the weather, what's happened, if there's a flood, if they've graded it recently. A place can be a lot better or a lot worse than you remember what the book says.
Yeah,
oh, here we go. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Voyager minivan.
I can't.
Were they thinking?
Yeah, and I don't know. Probably 1996 people weren't, I don't know, maybe I'm just saying this, but didn't seem that into off-roading like they are now. And maybe the road wasn't as good. But anyway, here we are going over these boulders. We're trying to be careful. I think this is where I turned the lockers on.
Wise move, actually.
Mm-hmm. What a view. This is, I think, the prettiest view, aside from the poor grave marker, but looking out the valley in front of the car, it's just the prettiest view of the whole trip, I think.
Nice time of day to reach there.
Yeah, you see those kind of little canyons on the road there. Those were deeper than they look on camera, and you want to get careful how you drive your car over that. But there's his grave site.
Carl Mengel, yeah.
Yeah. That was nice. Such a beautiful spot.
It is.
He came back up, Killian. Now she doesn't know how to get back down.
Oh, for crying.
What are you doing up here? Come on, little girl.
Well, I never did finish the whole story about the missing Germans. They left a lot of junk around the van. It looked like they camped there overnight and then finally headed out, I guess, on foot the next day. But where did they go? The searchers guessed wrong back in 1996 and didn't find anything. And it wasn't until, 2009, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was 2009 that some investigator guy looked into it again and found out the truth. So here's what happened: is when they headed out, it looked like they had a map. They purchased at one of my favorite places, Stovepipe Wells, but
Stovepipe Wells or Furnace Creek? I can't remember.
it was Stovepipe
Stovepipe
Wells,
Wells. Okay.
and it said that maybe they could. Well, it didn't say that, but looking at the map, it looks like you can go south many miles to the China Lake Weapons Center. I kind of get it, I guess. You hear China Lake Weapons Center, Naval Air Station, you think there's going to be gates and guards and soldiers and troops. But no, the place is huge. And where they would have hit it, they would have encountered just a fence and still been miles and miles from any human being. So that wasn't a real great direction to go. But what this investigator found was they never even made it that far. They only got 8 miles from the van in that heat, and sadly, that's where their remains were found.
That is a sad story.
It is. But
Be careful out there.
you really do, and have your water and things to eat and drink. But it was over a decade later they finally solved the case of the missing Germans.
Some of the things I bring up, obviously, is water. Like I had a 5-gallon. It's winter. I'm not going to go out there in the summer, that's for sure. But I had a 5-gallon thing of water, and I had a tent. I didn't bring, a comforter, which would have been nice, or something to lay on. But I guess if you feel like you're in a pickle, a tent's going to be nice. I don't know. Maybe use the tent as a blanket in the car. And some extra food. It's good to bring. And the way we came here is we came from the direction of Furnace Creek. Furnace Creek Campground, Furnace Creek Visitor Center, and we're going towards Ballarat, going towards Ridgecrest. And, it's getting dusk. There's no cell coverage out here. We have our InReach emergency beacon. I can text with that, which is nice to have. Definitely a good idea to have something like that, a spot or an InReach. Or if you like carrying around an expensive satellite phone. I actually used one of those one time.
We did.
That was a good story. I got stuck in the river because by the way, the river water, the muck in the water in Death Valley, if you get stuck in, say, the Amargosa River, is not like regular river water. It's like a quicksand and just sucked me right down into the riverbed. Had to call $1,000 tow to fix that one. It was an expensive trip.
May I point out that this river only actually has water usually about 7 days out of the entire year? We found it.
We found it.
Yeah.
Though it does have water underneath the ground. There is water underneath the ground. It's just not above ground.
The directions in our book can get a little confusing around here. We saw a turn that looked a little sketchy, and I went out to see if it was safe. Well, it wasn't really safe, I found out as I slid down the embankment. So it's not fit for a Jeep.
No, that's not true. Yeah, so I had Rob scout out the road we were supposed to go on, and again, like you said, it was so deep. It seemed like it had talc or something on it, limestone, and he slipped. And so we got the emergency kit out and wiped him up. But we had a tough time finding the right road, and we realized we passed it. We had to go. We drove this 3 times.
Back and forth three times
and
over
we're getting
those
a little
rocks.
scared, thinking we're going to end up like the Germans. That's probably why it was on our mind. But what we realized is that was washed out somehow. But if you continued on a little bit farther, you didn't see it, and you look to your left, past that washed out part, you're gonna see another way back down. Don't keep going straight, because we walked up that steep hill, and that ends in a cliff. So thank goodness we decided to park the car and go out and look. But you definitely want to continue left. It's right there.
All this explains why it wasn't until nightfall that we reached the Goler Wash. And yeah, that is water on the road.
Wash, yeah.
This is the Goler Wash.
That's a lot of water.
You know what's nearby, right?
Donkeys.
You know what else?
Oh, right.
Back road drives are really one of the funnest things in the whole world, if you're Megan. For me, I do like the history. You know, Death Valley has all kinds of mines, history, abandoned buildings, ghost towns, cabins, things like that. And around here is one particularly famous cabin with, shall we say, a criminal history, Megan?
Yeah.
It was called Barker Ranch. It was made in the 40s, and it was never really a ranch. It was just a way station, a facility for miners and such. But
I thought it was a ranch.
No, not really.
Wow.
In the 50s and 60s, it started to get used more recreationally. There was a nice house there. But in 1968, it was rented by a guy named Charles Manson, who, let's just say, stayed there with his friends, and wound up getting arrested there in 1969. They found him hiding out under the sink.
Well, wow. I think it burnt down recently.
Yeah, it did. It's just foundations.
One thing I didn't mention too is when we were trying to figure out which little dirt road to take back, make that turn on. Rob stayed in the car, and I had to take a flashlight out in the pitch black, knowing that we were close to Barker Ranch, and go looking around for, out of sight of the car. I mean, like, it was pretty far from the car. And, I was trying not to think about it, but it was pretty creepy.
Yeah, it doesn't bother the donkeys, see?
The donkeys weren't even around at that point. That was way back the road there. And, it was all
donkeys
mountain.
have ancestral memory.
Anyway. Now, this donkey is a very nice patriarch or matriarch, whatever it was. This is the third time this donkey went across the road. And it's clear that he or she is trying to encourage the other donkeys to go across with him. It's going to be okay. So they see the headlights, and they're like, oh, I can't go across that road. And the donkey's like, no, you can. I'll come back and get you. So he did that 3 times until they finally crossed the road.
Never answering the question, why did the donkey cross the road?
Now here you might say, well, why are you showing the same donkeys cross the road again? This is not the same donkeys. This is donkeys about a mile at least farther down the road, unless they transported themselves farther ahead, and there's some kind of alien abduction thing going on here. These are different donkeys.
We think.
Yeah, I know they're different donkeys. This is Stovepipe Wells in Death Valley. There's only 2 gas stations in Death Valley. This one we also stopped at. I don't remember. Why did we stop at this one?
Gas?
Well, we got gas at Stovepipe Wells. Maybe we're just looking around. So this is Furnace Creek. So I don't know if we got gas, but we just like, well, you know what? Let's look around. How often do you get to just see it completely abandoned like this? Because remember, the campgrounds are essentially shut down. The hotels are essentially shut down. There are workers that can come in. Oh, they did a matching one here that they did at the other place.
What's that?
This is like kind of like a matching one. Maybe it's not exactly the same, but come on, let's keep exploring. didn't say you couldn't walk here. No guests. What? I know there's a swimming pool here, I just don't know where it's at. I thought it was in front. They don't make it, I always get confused. It's called the Death Valley. Need some repairs. Death Valley Inn at the resort at the inn. There's two inns here, but this is the nicer one. Come on, babe. Perhaps cold, but it is like 68 degrees. So it's windy and it makes it seem colder. Oh, I just know it. We're gonna come around the corner and there's gonna be a swimming pool. No. Somewhere here. I just feel like I want to see the swimming pool. Oh, we have to go down. I love hearing the crickets. I know we're in the right place, babe. Come on, take your hands out of your pockets so you don't trip. We're getting close. I can feel it. I'm trying to be all quiet, and Rob's like clump, clump, clump. He doesn't walk good in the dark. Wow. Looks pretty cool in there. Okay. Come on, babe. We're getting close, okay? Just hang in there, babe. Rocky, almost come... Babe!
I stepped on the leaf.
Look at, there's water trickling down here. How cool is that? They have it so like a little water trickles down. Look at this. Right there. Oh, it's a little water fountain. Look at that. Oh, that's cool. Oh, what's your steps, babe? Slow down. You want the flashlight?
Okay.
Here you go. Well, that's not going to work. I can't get this on camera. Here we go. See, there's water right there. Oh, this is cool. Look at that. So they got a little, and there's like a little, oh, yeah, I forgot Rob. Okay, just hold still. Babe, don't trip. Okay, look at that. Oh, that is so neat. No wonder there's like little crickets and critters around here. You just take your hands in your pockets and just hold onto the side here without actually touching it. Wow. Okay, here, babe. Okay, let's go down this way. Oh, let's go up this way. No, wait. I'm so confused. Okay, hold on to my back here. Okay. Okay, I have to leave Rob. He's slowing me down. He keeps tripping over things. Whoa. Like, that would have been bad. Kind of feels like it could get out any second. Wow, it's a whole grove of palm trees. Oh, and the water's still growing down here. Wow. My goal was to find the swimming pool. Oh, there's a whole lake right here. Look at, oh, you can't see that. Wow. That is really cool. It's like an oasis. And I see water over there too. Wow. Okay. Go back this way. There's a path. I see swimming pools in the pictures. What the? Oh, phew. But I don't. Wow, this is the end. Okay, so clearly the swimming pool is not down here, but there's some sort of lake right there. I think. No, wait, is it? Maybe. Okay. Well, the question is, will I ever find Rob again in this darkness? Oh, there he is. Yay. Okay. I think I saw the corner. Are you gonna wait? Okay. All right, I'm gonna go down here. There it is. Oh yeah. Wow. There it is. The swimming pool. What in the world is that noise? Oh, it's this thing right here. See if this swimming pool and spa. Oops. Hold up. Okay, good. Whew. This. Wow. Let's see. Is it gonna be warm? I wonder. Oh my gosh, it's warm. The water's so warm. Must be natural. Oh my goodness. That is so cool. Where's my flashlight? I lost it. I can't even see where. Oh, here it is. Wait. Oh. A big old fireplace. A fireplace by a pool. I've never seen that before. Gym is closed. Well, I think the whole thing is closed. There's the gym in there. Gym is closed, but the whole hotel is closed. The beat, I didn't see any signs that said keep out, so I didn't see any of that. There could be another fireplace. Wow. It smells warm. It smells like the water's warm. Little cabana. Bougainvillea is still blooming. I'm sure Rob thinks I've gone insane. But this is the best night ever. Oh, showers! There. Makes me a little jealous because our water at the RV park has to be boiled before we can use it. It's been like that for a week. We were working on the pipes. So, I don't know why that light's on. And the door's open. Well, I mean, I might want to go in there. Little towels for people. Any towels in there? Nope. Well, that was fun. Wow. That was so fun. It was worth making Rob trip. Wow. Because I've never been here before. And I always wanted to see it. I never expected I'd see it like this. What a beautiful pool. Beautiful. Nice and warm. Even though the wind is making it cold, it's just still warm. Must be a naturally fed pool. Okay. That was totally worth it. I don't know what Rob would say. He would say it was worth it. Didn't touch anything. He's up that way. I gotta come back over this way. So one of those palm fronds don't fall and hit me in the head. Hey, it was warm. They have what?
Have a neat meeting room. Check out the table.
Oh, it's neat in there. Wow, that's huge. Can I see it? Let's see. Can I see it? Let's see. It's a really big table. Around this way. Ooh, steps. Careful, Rob. There's steps right here. What a neat. Oh my goodness, that is so. How can I get in there? There is no way to really get in there. But there's a big giant chandelier. There we go. Big chandelier. Stone walls with really, I don't know what the pictures are, but they look neat. Big carpet, nice chairs. very manly looking. Well, I have to say that it was probably more cool coming here in a windstorm at night when it's shut down in COVID than it would be if I had came here as a guest in the daytime. Right?
Right.
Yeah, that was totally worth it. Okay, you ready?
Which
Wait.
is the way back?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We probably should go this way. Best to go back. Smell that. Doesn't that smell good? It smells like water, grass, because this is probably some sort of Bermuda. It doesn't look. It's nice. You don't see grass over here in Death Valley, so you can smell the grass. And I realized after having been here for so long in the desert, I haven't seen grass in forever. So you can smell the water that's trickling down. You can smell this sort of Bermuda grass and these palm trees. And Rob, just so I don't smell blood, just don't trip, okay? Easier said than done, huh? Oh, here comes the sprinklers. Let's hope that's the sprinklers. Oh, good, it's the sprinklers. Not a hissing salamander or something. Well, that's neat. Sprinklers in Death Valley. And wouldn't you know it, right down the path we were going to come on. Caution, watch your step. Maybe we should wait for it to go off.
Wait,
Oh, Rob just nicely pointed out that we don't have to go through the sprinklers. We can go back the way we came. These steps. A tour of Death Valley something resort at night. Wow. Wow, just let me walk over here. It's really nice. I like the green and the yellow. I'm glad Rob remembers which way we came, because I'm frankly a little turned around. Oh, okay, this seems right. Well, let's do one last look. Well, I actually haven't seen this yet, so this would be probably where you pulled in and checked in. The lobby. Historic Hotels of America. Inyo County Health Order, mask required, please. But it still doesn't say what's the name of the hotel. There's the front desk. Nice. Oh, it's nice lobby. You know, the Ahwahnee or Yosemite, whatever they're calling it now, should look this nice. Very nice. A little place to snack or have a drink out there. Let's see if we can get out from here. What's that, babe? reviews. People, I don't know, maybe they're from LA or something, expect better service, but wait, one second. I gotta stay right there, babe. Go some more coyote poo-poo. Everything's all closed up. Dining tables. That's the dining tables, I guess. Anyway, yeah, the reviews, sometimes people complain about it. You know, but if you come out here, you're gonna get, you know, maybe hotel food is never the best, but
It's the only game in town.
yeah, it's the only game in town, and it's gonna be expensive because you have to ship it to the middle of nowhere. You know, but to be able to come here and have a nice place to stay, you shouldn't have too high expectations of what you're gonna get. But it seems really nice. Just a trip. That's probably like the access.
Bighorn Road.
A tunnel to I don't know what the Bighorn Room is, but anyway, we don't need to go down there.
Oh, there's the fountain you passed.
Yep. So we're on the right track. Well, that was a 5-star experience.
Indeed.
I think so. And being that it's almost midnight and we still have,
An hour.
well, probably like an hour and a half to get back to the RV. Oh, but look at that place across the street. We should explore that. Don't strangle me.
Well, I gotta get up at 7:30.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess we have to compromise. You can take a nap in the car. We'll be fine. Go across the street and look at that stuff. I'm just kidding. We won't. All right. Well, good night from Death Valley. This was our last adventure while we're here, because we're just going to kind of rest until it's time to come home. Stay at home. The what do you call it? Inauguration's coming up soon, so I'm gonna stay put in the RV for about another, 4 or 5 days? Because tomorrow's Tuesday. What's that, babe?
4 days.
Ooh, it's really windy.
I had to take my hat off.
Yeah, your hat's gonna blow away. All right. Say farewell.
Farewell.
Farewell.